So here's something most people don't realize about Redmond, Washington. Even though Redmond is known for great tech hubs, amazing schools, and just overall great family living, most buyers that I work with don't choose it because of just one house that they stumble upon. They're actually intentionally choosing it because of how the city functions day to day. People relocating here from California, Texas, Arizona, or even places in Seattle are looking for a stronger school district, neighborhoods that feel more established, a safe access to different trails and parks and just outdoor spaces, predictable commutes, and then of course homes that make sense long term. So the real question becomes, which part of Redmond actually fits your lifestyle? Because Redmond is not one note, each area has its own rhythm, commute patterns, housing types, and price points, and then choosing the wrong pocket could seriously impact how much you enjoy living there. So that's exactly why this map video exists here today, to help you visually understand Redmond and narrow your search down before you start touring homes. If we haven't met yet, my name is Carrie Konecki. I am a local Seattle real estate expert. I've lived here the majority of my life and have in fact lived in 4 different suburbs of Seattle. I love being able to share firsthand insight with people that are just like you, looking to make that move to Seattle or even to the greater East Side. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Seattle and just our surrounding areas, the functions of each city, and just the nitty gritty, make sure you like and subscribe so you are the first to know about anything happening in our area, our current market here. And if that's you, check out the description below. All of my contact information is there. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 from across the world or just across town, I'm here to help make your move seamless and exactly what you want it to be. A lot of people assume Redmond is just one big suburb, but once you're here, you quickly realize how different each section actually is. Some areas are going to feel more walkable, connected, some are quieter, more residential, others are going to be built more around trails, schools, and major employers. But today we're going to break down Redmond in a way that actually makes sense. We're going to focus on neighborhoods that buyers naturally narrow down once they understand how the city of Redmond functions day to day. By the end of this video today, you are not going to be overwhelmed anymore with your options. You're going to have way more clarity. So grab your coffee and let's walk the map together. All right, let's talk about big picture layout with Redmond, Washington, how it's built. I'm going to zoom out so you can see Redmond and how it actually sits amongst like Seattle and even the East Side. So often in my videos, I like to talk about the East Side because that's kind of where the suburbs are located. So just to review, if you haven't seen my map video on Seattle, Seattle is this basic area right here. And you can see down below as well that SeaTac airport, my least favorite airport, is right there. So just kind of a big picture layout. Redmond, as you can see, it's highlighted, is on the east side right here. And when I say east side, that's basically this area. So Redmond sits amongst the east side suburbs. We have Woodinville up top right here. There's Kirkland, that's located right there. We have Bellevue, and we have Sammamish. So that's kind of the east side, and then Seattle is to the west. And then the bodies of water, the body of water that separates the two is called Lake Washington. So Lake Washington is this body of water right here. And then we have the salt water, which is the Puget Sound that sits on the west side of Seattle. So Redmond is one of the suburbs. It's the second most search area in Seattle. Seattle being number 1, and Redmond is the second top search in our area. Let's see. Some of the main roads too to kind of review, to keep in mind if you are deciding to move to our area. Main freeways that you're going to be using is I-5, which runs north to south, takes you right down to SeaTac. If you continue up north, that's going to take you up into Bellingham, up into Canada. And if you continue south on I-5, that's going to take you to Oregon, California. And then we have 405, which is on the east side. So the east side of Lake Washington. And those are two main freeways that obviously can be affected by the time of day, traffic and so forth. And then we have the floating bridge, 520, which is right here. And that takes you right into Redmond, actually starts right in Redmond. And then our other main freeway is I-90, and that will take you up to Snoqualmie, Eastern Washington. Snoqualmie Pass is where a lot of people go snowboarding and skiing. So those are kind of like the main freeways to keep in mind in our area. And then as far as like the main roads with Redmond that you'll be traveling on is going to be Redmond WA, which takes you into Kirkland. Okay, so this is Redmond WA right here. It takes you through Redmond. And then the other main one is going to be Avondale. So I am from Woodinville, which is up north. You can see right here, this is a wine country. Woodinville sits right up next to Redmond. It actually goes, I didn't do a very good job there. It actually is a little bit bigger. So it's here. This is a rough draft here. But yeah, so that is our Woodinville area. And to get to Woodinville, you can do one of two things. You can use Avondale, which is right, let's see, it connects to 520. So here's 520, and the junction is right here in Redmond, connects you to Avondale right here, which takes you all the way up to Cottage Lake, Woodinville. You'll get very familiar with that, and depending on where you live in Redmond, you might even use this main route to get to 520 to take you into Seattle, maybe into Bellevue. And then another main road is Woodinville Redmond Road, which is this guy right here, takes you into Woodinville. So those are kind of the main roads to be aware of if you are choosing to move to Redmond, Washington. Unlike Seattle, Redmond isn't built around density or water barriers. It's built more around neighborhood pockets, schools, and commute flows. And to point out our main high school in Redmond, it's going to be in the north section. So right up top here, you'll see Redmond High School. So that is a main high school in Redmond to be familiar with. And then lastly, I'd like to point out the downtown area. This is where all your shops are going to be. You have your doctor's offices, you have coffee shops. There's an outdoor mall called Redmond Town Center that you'll become very familiar with. So that is located more in the central, more south of a Redmond area. For most people, moving to Redmond, naturally your search is going to start in the residential pockets of the city. Today, I have chosen 5 different areas to highlight for you. This is where Redmond feels most livable. You're gonna find quieter streets, established neighborhoods, just a true sense of permanence, some of the areas that we're gonna talk about today. So the first one I wanna highlight is Education Hill here. This is the #1 search area within Redmond, so I thought we would start here. Median home price for Education Hill is $1.35 million. A couple main attractions of this area is probably going to be #1 location. You can see kind of central area of Redmond. It's very close to that downtown area, which is right here. So you have that feeling like you're in a neighborhood, you're amongst, your neighbors, you have quieter streets, you're close to Redmond High School, which is right up here. But you have that really great access to the amenities that downtown Redmond provides. So like I said, this is our downtown area. This is where you're gonna find all of your shopping. You have a ton of different medical centers. You have an outdoor mall called Redmond Town Center that sits down here as well. You can see Bath and Body Works is located there. Some really cool different restaurants, like I said, and even coffee shops. So super close to that action, but yet you're, tucked away in your own little neighborhood. You have easy access to Sammamish River Trail. If you watched my Seattle video, We talked about that a little bit. I'm going to highlight it for you so you can see. This is a 40-mile trail. It is so unique to our area. It's completely paved and it loops around. So it goes through Redmond up to Woodinville, Bothell, Kenmore, over into Seattle, back to 520 and to Redmond. So it's, like I said, 40 miles trail. You're going to find bikers and you're going to find runners. You're going to find a lot of times races are held on part of this Sammamish River Trail. And so living in Education Hill area gives you kind of an easy access to Marymore Park, which is where that Burt Gilman, which turns into Sammamish River. So they're all one trail. But that's kind of where that Sammamish River Trail connects, is in Marymore area, the Marymore Park area. So that's kind of unique to the Education Hill area as far as easy access there. Microsoft and some of the different tech hubs are going to be down in this location. You can see Microsoft. And so you're very close to, major East Side employers, which is also a convenient access to Redmond WA and 520. So like I said, location is going to be number one for this area in Redmond. Easy access to those tech areas. If you're employed by Microsoft or Nintendo, you're going to find those down in this region. And then you have easy access to Avondale, which is the one road that connects you to Woodinville right here. So you can pop over, get onto Avondale, hop right onto 520. You can also go down a little bit south, hop on Redmond Way. That takes you right over to Kirkland. So location is great for Education Hill area. A couple downsides to this area is limited inventory. Things typically do go fast because it is a top searched area of Redmond. You will find that homes don't sit a whole long time. Also notice when you drive through this area, it's pretty heavily dense with trees. So I like the sun personally, and if you're moving here from out of state in a sunny area, this might be a little bit too much as far as shade goes. I'm not saying that there are not areas that have sun, because there are definitely some sunny lots as well, but it is pretty heavy as far as when it comes to trees in this Education Hill area. Home styles are going to be a mix, obviously, but there's going to be a lot of older homes in the 1960s and 1970s. You'll find a lot of split level homes, and oftentimes most of them have been remodeled and updated. So just kind of a mix of everything. But like I said, a lot of older homes in this area that have been either remodeled or they're still old looking. So you just kind of have to pick through some of them. But this is kind of one main area that I wanted to point out to you to start. If you are kind of sold on the Redmond area, Education Hill would be a great area to kind of hone in on and start with as far as your search goes. Next stop up is Bear Creek. So we just kind of touched base on this central location here. And if you head east, you're going to find Bear Creek, which is right here. Median home price in Bear Creek is $1.1 million. This is a very heavy condo and townhome area, so values do kind of vary quite a bit here, but you'll kind of notice along this Avondale Road, which is the one that connects you to 520, this is predominantly all condos and townhomes right in this area. So you can kind of tell there, you'll find some single family homes up here a little bit, and you might even find some kind of more on the border of Redmond over here, more single family homes. But like I said, majority of the homes in Bear Creek are going to be those condos and townhomes. You're located right next to Perigo Park, which is a really cool park. There are soccer fields, basketball courts, really fun little playgrounds for the kids. Farrell McWhirter Park is up top here. You're pretty close to that. So if you have little kids, this is kind of a fun area to live. I wouldn't say it's private. I feel like this is going to be kind of busy because you have Avondale and it's just pretty dense with condos and townhomes right here. But if you are not looking to buy an actual single family home and you do want that townhouse living, this is a great area to focus on, especially if you work at Microsoft and here's a Microsoft campus here. But if you are needing to use 520, this is a great area to look at, because you can, like I said, pop on Avondale, take 520, and then hit some of those other Microsoft campuses down here. So great location. You're also very close to Woodinville. If you live in Redmond at all, anywhere, you will be visiting me up in Woodinville area. So living in Bear Creek gives you that easy access to that, to our area. So like I said, mostly attached housing here, very specific lifestyle, but I did want to point that out. So when you are looking at this on a map, you kind of know this location over here is going to be more of that condo townhouse living lifestyle. Next stop is English Hill. This is by far my most favorite area of Redmond. I like a little bit more privacy, so that is what English Hill is going to have to offer. I will say it's going to be more spendy. The median home price in English Hill area is 1.6 million. It sits north of downtown of Redmond. It feels noticeably more spacious. You'll find if you drive through here, it's basically butts up against Woodinville. So Woodinville is right here. So English Hill is almost like it's the last neighborhood before you get to Woodinville. So you kind of do feel like, am I in Woodinville or am I in Redmond? You're kind of in between both of them. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You have, again, easy access to that Avondale Road here. So it's actually a great location if you can afford living in English Hill. This is where I would point a lot of buyers to. Woodinville, like I said, has tons to offer, 130 wineries. So you are right near, we just had a new hotel built in this Hollywood Hill area called the Som Hotel. So that is a luxury hotel, spa hotel, tons of cute little boutiques and restaurants in that area. So that's right here. We have Vivi Pizzeria, which is right in here. That's where my daughter works. So you're pretty close to, and then the Som Hotel is right here. So you're very close to that, that life right here, which is upscale. I don't think I've ever even eaten at Barking Frog because it's expensive, but you have the option to if you live in English Hill, so you're super close. But yeah, so if you live here, you can hop on 124th to Woodinville Redmond, and you're literally like 5 to 7 minutes to this part of Woodinville area. So that's nice. Lot sizes in English Hill are going to be more like half acres or even above, so larger lots. You're going to find a lot more older construction, but these homes are immaculate. A lot of them are square footage 25 to 4,000 square feet. They're larger homes, and you know, people take pride in their homes in English Hill. I don't think you'd probably have a hard time finding a home here that isn't taken care of. Maybe like an older couple that can't get out and do the yard work like we can, but majority of the homes in English Hill are going to be well taken care of and manicured for sure. Low traffic. You will find some traffic on this road right here, and then of course Avondale depending on the day. But yeah, you're gonna feel like the roads in this area and the streets are quiet. Tons of room to walk your dogs. Your kids can ride their bikes. All the neighborhoods connect. Just very unique area. Very unique area to Woodinville and Redmond. Everybody knows about English Hill. You're also very close to the pipeline, which I don't know if I can even find on this map, but it is a 14 to 15 mile trail that is basically rock and dirt. You'll find a lot of horses on this trail, and people walk their dogs off leash as well. But that is going to be kind of up top here, and it runs east to west. And you can actually, if you go through the neighborhood, you can pop on the pipeline. So you have the pipeline here and English Hill neighborhood. If you take the right streets, you can make your way to that pipeline trail. And like I said, it's a 14 to 15 mile trail. You'll often see horses, like I said, just horseback riding, or even people walking their horses on the trail. So, and you can see Seattle on certain areas of the trail. So very cool that it is kind of connected to that English Hill area. If you do live in this area, you're going to be more car dependent. It's not an area where you can just walk downtown as far as like Redmond goes. Higher price point, like we talked about, and just less walkability to the downtown area. However, you have a ton of different areas to walk within that community and area. So English Hill is my top pick. Like I said, if you have the means to live there, this would be a great area to definitely focus on in Redmond area. All right, our fourth stop is going to be downtown Redmond. I want to definitely make sure we hit this area. Downtown Redmond, median home price for this area is going to be $1.1 million. And it's going to be predominantly condos and townhomes, similar to Bear Creek area, but you're in the heart of everything. So Redmond has been growing quite a bit. There are a bunch of different condos and townhomes that are kind of going along this area and all throughout downtown. Just to kind of zoom in so you can kind of see some of the areas. We have this is our Redmond Town Center, which is right here. And so you'll see Bed Bath & Body Works. You have the theaters here. You have a brew house, BJ's down below. Different medical centers, some apartments up top. Tipsy Cow. Yeah, some more apartments. And then some more townhomes in throughout this area. So Redmond is definitely growing quite a bit. You have, again, that easy access to 520 and Sammamish River Trail, which, like I said, is down here in Marymore. So if you're living in this downtown area, you can walk everywhere. So if you want to walk, this is going to be the area that you want to focus on. You can pop over here to Marymore Park, which is known as Redmond's largest, most walkable and versatile park, offering miles of trails, river access, sports fields, a massive off-leash dog park right here that you can see. Just one of Eastside's most popular outdoor concert venues. You'll find even people from Woodinville. I mean, everybody knows where Marymore is because it's just a great park to go to. It literally offers everything. So you can see the athletic fields here and baseball fields up top. So it's a huge park. You're also really close to Grasslawn Park, which is the other one I was talking about earlier. One of my favorites. This is Grasslawn Park. So you have just great parks you're close to all the restaurants, all the breweries, all the coffee shops, all the stores. Everything is there at your fingertips. Neighborhood feels very lively. Like I said, mostly condos and apartments, limited yard space, and parking just kind of varies depending on where you choose to reside. So that is downtown Redmond. Our last stop is, of course, Overlake. We can't miss Overlake. If you are considering Redmond and you're moving from out of state, you're likely looking at Redmond because of the tech industry, Microsoft, and maybe even the how close you are to Google, which is over here in Kirkland. So Overlake is a great area to focus on. The median home price in this area is going to be $1.45 million. You are right up against Microsoft and their main campuses. So you can see how Microsoft is just all over Overlake. So yeah, so great area to check out. You are super close to downtown Bellevue, depending on when you're traveling there. But downtown Bellevue is zooming out right over here. So you're about 10 minutes, not even, to downtown Bellevue. Kirkland, which is home to Google, is super close as well. And right here, Google. So definitely a great location. 520 right over to 405. So you're going to find a mix of newer construction and townhomes. This is going to be more professional, commute-friendly area, busier during the work hours, and obviously more traffic near the campus corridors. So definitely check out Overlake if you are considering moving to Redmond for Microsoft or just kind of easy access to downtown Bellevue. All right, let's lastly talk about commute reality if you are living in Redmond. Obviously, it's going to depend on where you live in Redmond, but it's honestly not a huge city. So it's probably going to be relatively the same depending. But let's just say you live in Redmond and you are trying to get to Bellevue. You're likely going to hop on 520 and get into Bellevue. So you would get on to 405 and hit Bellevue. So that's going to be about a 15 to 25 minute commute time. If you are trying to get into Seattle, you're definitely going to hit 520. And honestly, depending on the day and traffic, it might even be faster to get on a 405 and then hit I-90. Oftentimes I-90 is a little less backed up than 520, to be honest. So just depending on, I always like to use Waze because it tells me the fastest route. But that'll be about a 20 to 35 minute commute into Seattle. And then if you are trying to get to Kirkland, which is right here, you're likely going to hit Redmond WA into Kirkland, and that's about a 10 to 20 minute drive. Same with Woodinville. If you're going up to Woodinville, about 10 to 20 minutes. And then if you are trying to get to SeaTac Airport, I would plan for a good 30 minutes. So here's SeaTac Airport, but also depends again, obviously, on the time of day and the traffic. It could take you 50 minutes, but you're likely going to make sure you go when there's not as much traffic. But yeah, so you'd go 520, 405, and you would get down to SeaTac that way. So Redmond traffic is more predictable than Seattle, but directions definitely matter. Here's how most people decide where to live in Redmond: the commute direction, school boundaries, space versus walkability, and your budget. So when buyers understand this order, Redmond becomes much easier to navigate. If you found this video helpful and you want to stay in the loop on the Seattle living and our ever-changing real estate market, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow along. That way you'll be the first to know about everything happening here in Seattle, Washington. I'm Carrie Konecki, your local Seattle real estate expert, and every day I'm getting calls, texts, and emails from people just like you thinking about making that move to Seattle or one of our beautiful surrounding suburbs. So whether you're moving in 9 days or maybe not for 9 more months, from across the world or just across town, I would love to help make your move exactly what you want it to be. So until next time, I look forward to showing you around town.